With just days before early voting gets underway in Maryland, we wondered what voters in Prince George's County are focused on as they head to the polls.
Our Tracee Wilkins recently sat down with a group of county voters. Yesterday, we heard how they rated the overall state of the county, and they gave some pretty low scores. Tracee joins us now with more on their conversation. All right, what'd you guys talk about next?
Yeah, because yesterday was kind of tough. So
yes.
I got a little bit better this time. Today, we largely focused on the economy. The county has experienced significant job loss. A lot of that is tied to White House policies that have cut jobs for tens of thousands of federal workers and contractors in Prince George's County. Our panel explained how they want candidates to respond to this loss, but we began with what they're not voting for. Some of our conversation was edited for time. Levon, I want to ask you, what is it that you are looking for in the next candidate?
I will not be voting for incumbents, whether they are seek to transition from one seat to another seat. So no one who is a district seat holder moving into the at-large seat. We unfortunately have had this overtaking of a block for the last few years that we have to break.
Taylor, what is at the top of your list? What is most important to you when you go to vote?
The issue that I want to see addressed, of course, is data centers. I think that that's a big issue for a lot of us in the county.
How concerned are you all about the economy right now? Levon, I'm going to start with you.
I think there are about 60,000 federal workers that were impacted by DOGE. What I want to see is a plan. Everybody jumped out with job fairs and resource fairs, but we never had a plan for how to address the potential foreclosures. Have we been working with banks? We did this before in 2008. And so job training opportunities.
One of the things that we have been asking, or I have been asking candidates in all of the debates that I've moderated, is it time for Prince George's County to move out of this need for federal work? Part of the reason that it is one of the wealthiest, predominant African-American counties in the nation is because of this dependency and consistency of federal jobs. Is it time for Prince George's County to move on? Greg, what are your thoughts about that?
We do need to reduce our outright dependence on the federal government, but the federal government does a lot of good, and a lot of that has been hit with a wrecking ball by Trump. But our answer can't be to lock ourselves into the race to the bottom, as we've done with data centers, or by giving some of the richest people and richest corporations in the world massive tax breaks while also deregulating them at our local level.
Chloe, I want to ask you about this, because it used to be that when you were in college, especially if you were from this region, the goal was get a good federal government job.
Actually, yes. I'm a food science and fermentation science double major. And the goal for me when I was applying to colleges was FDA after I graduated, and potentially being in that field of work. And unfortunately, I can't even do that anymore. And I'm seeing a lot of my people who look like me, Black women, being forced out of these jobs. And I'm sat here thinking, well, where am I going to go when it's my time to be able to work in the workforce?
You're hearing what voters are really focused on in Prince George's County. There's so much happening there. Early voting in Maryland begins this Thursday and goes through the 18th. The primary is June 23rd. We will have more from this panel discussion all week. Tomorrow we get into a hot topic for our entire region, data centers. One of our panelists, Taylor, recently became a community activist because of this very issue. Our panel has interesting thoughts on how this impacts their vote. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's discussion for you all to hear what they have to say. The idea that the thought of a data center coming to Taylor's neighborhood is what got her involved in activism. So, you know, these people are very interesting, and their thoughts about what candidates need to be focused on. Hopefully candidates are listening, and those who are already in office, whether they're in a competitive seat or not, are paying attention to what the voters are saying they are thinking about.
I thought it was really interesting that one of the residents said she's not voting for any incumbents, even if they're, you know, going from one seat to another. It's fascinating to hear that is her mindset. And like you said, I hope the candidates and the people who are maybe not up for election.
She followed that up with, I want fresh voices, fresh faces, we need something new and energetic to happen in the county. And that can happen after a while when people are tired of seeing the same people. So we'll see how that plays out in the polls.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tracee.
Thanks, Tracee.